friends, and welcome to episode 169 of The Rewind, a podcast dedicated to keeping its listeners on the cutting edge of the upcoming MMORPG, Pantheon Rise of the Fallen. It's once again been a busy week with many streams from the VR team and a QA inception unlike any other. As always, Draq and I want to take a moment to thank our Patreon subscribers and a special first shout out to Archbishops who joined our adventure team this week. It's a big deal to have the lyricist of Theric's Rainbow be a part of the show, even with Theric not running it anymore. We would love for you to join as well. Take a look at the different tiers and the link below and pick a level that's right for you. There are other ways to support the show too. Feel free to join us on the YouTube premiere every Saturday at noon Eastern, or simply click the like and subscribe button so we can tell the world about how horrible Draq is at creating top 5 lists. Lastly, we complete our first full month of guests on our road to early access this December. I don't even think I know what a regular show is like anymore. This week, we are joined by Benonai, a talented individual who makes a ton of Pantheon content for the masses to enjoy. If you want to get lost in a fantasy story set in the world of Terminus, look no further. Benonai will have you reading for days before you can finish all of it. Which is shocking that he would come on this show when one of the hosts can't even read. And since I'm reading this off a Word document, I'll let you guess which host that is. Now, on with the show.
In the depths of the forgotten crypt, Ziplox moves silently, his dark merged senses attuned to the eerie stillness. At his side, a knowing llama tightened his fist, ready for whatever lay beyond the shadows. Anton's Glyphkeeper staff glowed faintly, casting an overworldly light that danced off Churro Dude's summoned creatures, a miniature wisp and a tiny ember elemental, both eager for battle. Suddenly, bony hands clawed out from the shadows, and a horde of undead skeletons staggered forward, their hollow eyes gleaming with unnatural light. Archbishop charged ahead with his warhammer radiating with divine energy, smashing through the first wave of skeletons. "For the light!" he bellowed, a beacon in the dark. Screech strummed his lute, his music vibrating with a powerful dissonance that sent cracks through the skeleton's brittle bones. Churro Dude whispered a summoning chant, conjuring a wave of tiny magical flames that swept over the undead, lighting them up like kindling. Anton raised his staff, invoking a dark incantation that wrapped a group of skeletons in writhing shadows, dissolving them into dust. Together, the party fought through the endless wave, each member a piece of the puzzle, swift, strong, or arcane, until at last, silence reclaimed the crypt.
All right, as I said in the intro, Draq, we've got Benonai here this week. Benonai, you can come out of the trash can like Oscar the Grouch.
Thank you, everyone, my endearing fans. I love you all, except for you right there. You know who you are. I'm not going to forgive you for that.
Nice. You know, I have a big heart for Benonai because him and I got started in Pantheon content creation about the same time. Like, it was within a month of each other.
Nice.
Yep. And that is almost exactly mutual, except for reverse. I hate Draq to death.
Wow.
Because
this is going to be a spicy show.
Like lore at all. And so he loves to comment on all of my videos, but I'm pretty sure he's never read any of them or listened to them.
I thought we already established I don't read.
Yeah. It was in the intro, if you don't remember.
Yeah. But I will say that I have hated Draq for a very long time. And
Same.
So, yeah, we go way back.
People just love to hate Draq. That's like a common occurrence since I've known him.
Nobody wants to hear about how big your fireball is.
Exactly.
Right? Your fireballs? I don't need to know how big your fireballs are.
They're not that big.
I'm trying to get it in as an Olympic event in, the next Summer Olympics. How good you can hate on Draq.
Well, as the current gold medal winner of that and reigning champion for the last 25 years. Anyway, let's before this turns into a 3-hour Oren / Nathan Napalm episode, let's let's get on to some quick questions just to give you a little insight, Ben and I. If you haven't been listening to the show, I don't blame you. It's not very good, and Draq talks forever. But we start off with these questions. They've been the same questions for every guest we've had and every guest we will have on the way to EA. And so the questions that I ask are always very thought-provoking and good, whereas Draq's questions are rather dull and, one-word answers, things like that. So and feel free to answer these any way you like. It can be as many answers as you like in how it affects you or the world or whatever. There's no wrong answer. So,
well, then that sounds great. I have no idea what they are because I only listen to the rating party and then I get off.
I mean, that's usually the best part of the show, and then just cut it from there. So, well, we'll start with this first one, and we'll see how you do. And if you answer it well enough, maybe we'll ask you another one. So, first question: what made you start creating gaming content?
I started creating content because a very similar reason that as Oren, as a matter of fact.
Wait. You're admitting that you listen to the show?
Well, I listened to
Oren.
Oh,
that's good. That's smart.
So yeah, I muted all the parts where y'all were talking. But while he was giving an answer to some question, I have no idea what it was. He did mention that he likes to know how the sausage is made,
right.
And Draq has said the same thing. And so once I was done with my meandering and musings on my fan fiction, I was like, I wonder what this would be like if I made it into an audiobook, since Draq can't read. And so I'll give him something, to do, pass the time.
I love this show already.
And so I started.
I'm loving this. We're 2 minutes in and I am loving it.
And so what I started to do was I downloaded a couple programs. I start working it, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of fun. And then I was like, well, there's a lot of content to the game that isn't being highlighted in and of itself. It's being part of different content creators' videos where they're going over, what the latest dev stream said and stuff like that. But I wanted to highlight certain things. And so I started just kind of patching together different pieces, leaving myself out of it. And then just doing everything within the video, some background music, some videos, overlays, text and stuff, and just kind of leaving it at that.
Very nice.
And people seem to find that a little helpful. And so once I finished the audiobook, I was like, okay, well, now that I've learned a little bit about video processing, maybe I should try to do like a video, what I would started calling a video book, because it has slides and stuff like that with it, some pictures and stuff to kind of follow the story along. So one of the books, it's kind of like a book with pictures. So that tells you kind of where I'm at.
Those are my favorite.
Yes, absolutely.
Are you playing Final Fantasy in the background as well?
I can absolutely do that. No, that is my phone. That is my ringtone. Well, this show is kind of boring.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure I had something.
Pokemon Pocket is hours away from dropping. I am watching it every second, not listening to your answers at all. So I totally understand.
I cannot tell you how many times people stop me and they're like, what in the world is that ring on your phone?
I had it in 2 notes.
And I'm like,
guess that ringtone.
You don't know, if you do not know what the victory theme is for Final Fantasy, then I don't think we even need to be speaking. So
and that's why you hate Draq.
I knew exactly what it was, just for the record.
Yeah, Draq knew that one. There's plenty of other reasons to hate Draq. We don't need to.
He didn't even put Final Fantasy on his top 5 video game composers of all time. Yeah.
Well, everybody else had Nobu, and nobody could say his name.
Well,
so
I'm not good at pronunciation, as you could tell by how many takes we took to try to even say MMORPG without slipping. What, in your opinion, is the greatest moment in gaming?
I saw for the first time Mortal Kombat in an arcade at a post exchange, and I was like, I have never seen. There's like real people fighting on the screen. How did they get those real people to fight like that? Like, it was amazing.
It was amazing.
And so,
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it was just incredible. You've never seen anything like it. And then the next thing that I feel like that really changed video games from then on was Final Fantasy VII.
Word.
When you get, you know, you not only get like the great RPG story backing to really good gameplay, in my opinion, for those that like turn-based, but to have the videos mixed in, kind of telling the story in a way that games just had not told the story like that before. I feel like those were the two that I remember from growing up, where I was like, video games are not ever going to be the same after this game is released.
Totally.
And
couldn't agree more.
I feel like I was right.
I'm glad that you had an answer that wasn't EverQuest based, which, don't get me wrong, Sega does what Nintendo don't, right?
I was the guy that went to the arcade and I just pressed one button, just the kick button. I was like, just the kick button, and I'd move the joystick left and just press the. That was all I did on fighter games.
The spammer. All right, Draq, fine. Go on with your boring questions. Go.
I don't even know what you're talking about, because my questions are actually relevant as opposed to like,
To what, a gaming podcast? My questions aren't relevant to a gaming podcast?
Open-ended nonsense with no like set answers.
Listen, if we were doing
about the sky
a thesis or some sort of school project and it was an interview thing, you would get an F because your questions are all closed-ended questions.
For the audience at home, because I know the answer to this question, when did you start following Pantheon?
2016. Late 2016, I did. I learned about it very shortly after I learned about P99, Project 1999. And I was going on one of their broke servers that wasn't working quite right yet. And someone had mentioned, dude, you know about this new game that Brad McQuaid's making? And I was like, no. And so I started looking into it, and I was like, wow, this is fantastic. And obviously the thing that stuck out to me the most was I went obviously directly to the world tab on the website to read about some of the lore, how the game was set. And I was like, this is stinking
mind blown.
What, Star Wars mixed in a fantasy MMO? Like, you literally have, like, just for those who are just tuning in to what Pantheon is, this game is about aliens taking over a planet.
If we're going to talk lore, this is going to be a super short episode because I got nothing to say.
What's the name of that moon that's in the sky? Post it in the comments, everyone. Post in the comments so Draq knows what the name of the two moons is. Thank you.
Theric's gonna have to come back. He's gonna be like, I don't know about this Draq guy. I'm taking over the
Theric
IP.
and Dymlos do the rewind. That's gonna be a great show.
It's gonna be the Theric and Dymlos rewind because Draq is out.
Don't worry, he'll dump me too.
What are your favorite past MMOs?
Oh gosh, there's not many because so many of them are trash. I will say the closest one that I got to that provided me some relief from the hell of what MMOs have become for a little while was Final Fantasy 14. Because it had story, which I like. And the fights were pretty fun, but I found over time the community was just awful. And it's not because like they were just there wasn't a bunch of trolls out there. There was no sense of community within the community. And it's like, okay, well, let me just pair you with these 4 people and throw you into this fight that's going to take the next 5 minutes and give you no time whatsoever to know anyone, give you no time whatsoever to talk to anybody. Like, you don't even have time to chat once you get in there. I don't even know how that's possible, but it is. Yes. That's been my worst one. That is finding a game that actually has a good community behind it. EverQuest had that. EverQuest had that in spades. Everybody participated in forums. 6 years, 7 years after release, there were still people blowing up forums. There are still people posting stuff on Alakazam. Like it's like it never got old to people that were playing. It was just crazy. It's crazy.
What interests you about Pantheon that is different from other games?
Dude, I just answered that question. What do you want? No, I'm just joking.
Oh my heck.
The thing that the thing that really though, aside from the community aspect, the thing that really drew me to Pantheon was their vision for the perception system.
Mm-hmm.
Shocking.
Yeah, I know, right? You would not have expected that from me. And it wasn't so much, contrary to what people may think, I don't want to just sit in the game and read walls of text either. Like, I hate playing D&D.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit there and just read mountains of books so that I know, what this, stupid wand of withering or whatever kind of crap, what it can do. I don't want to deal with any of that garbage. But I do want some story to what I'm doing to the world, to give me a sense of why is this here. So to give you 2 examples, just real quick, in EverQuest, I got to the checkerboard. I'll never forget it. The first time I saw the checkerboard in Butcher Block.
It's a chessboard.
Checkerboard, chessboard, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. I missed the board game episode, so I don't know what these things are called.
To be fair, it's both. It's the same thing.
No, it's not. Checkers is red and black, and chess is white and black.
Oh my God. We're cutting that out.
Nope.
So when I saw that, I remember I ran around and was like clicking on all the pieces, and I was clicking around the sides of the board, and I was like running around trying to find something like, what is this here for? Where did this come from? And I couldn't find the answer to it. So then I started like going to the forums. Like, what is the checkerboard for, or the chessboard? Sorry, Dymlos. Excuse me for living.
Come on, lore master. Get it right.
Well, it doesn't. You see, the reason I call it a checkerboard is because guess what? It doesn't matter, because there wasn't any lore for that freaking chessboard.
It was just there.
It was just there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I mean, they had to fill in for dwarfs. Like, there's no real. We don't give dwarfs anything. They just get. You're short, and all your women have beards, and here's a chessboard.
Here's for all those nights when you're drunk and you don't have anything to do. You can go play life-size chess with yourselves. That's what you can do.
They just needed something that paladins could spam their crappy nuke on.
Oh, it was awful. And then, so moving on. Yeah, it was awful. So then moving on, Mortal Online 1, not 2.
Mm-hmm.
Mortal Online 1, I'm like, hey, this game is going to be really awesome. It's got cool progression systems. Never mind the fact that I am terrible at PvP. So Mortal Online probably wasn't the best choice for me, which I found out later. But I remember I went to one of the cities on the East Coast, and I can't remember what the name of it was. And they had a lot of symbology on like rugs and on posts and on towers and stuff. And I remember I was going around and I was trying to be like, they put a puzzle in here? Is there something like with all this stuff? It seems to like point to something. And I ran around that town for like 6 hours. And I finally came to the realization that no, it's all just in there just to look good. And I was like, well, I've wasted way more of my time than I need to.
That is
and
the saddest story.
3 days after that, I'd been playing that game since beta. I'd been playing that game for like 6 months. Like 3 days later, I quit the game. I was like, nothing has any meaning anymore. What does my life come to? So, yeah, total crisis. Of
It's an
conscience at that
existential
point.
lore crisis.
It was existential lore crisis. This is exactly what it was. And I was like, where can I go? What can I do? And then I found Pantheon, and they're like, hey,
nice.
do you want to see something? And then like know that someone actually put it there on purpose? And I'm like, yes, I do. And they're like, well, then you need to play this game because we have the perception system. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do that. And the rest, gentlemen, is history.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Race class combination, and why isn't it Paladin?
Okay, so just so everyone knows, I shared the deepest secrets of my heart with Draq right before the stream started, and now he's using them against me. Yes, it is true. I have been playing Paladin at Cleric, Paladin, Ranger is what I've played and Warrior so far since I actually got in the game, which was extremely late, seeing how I've been so involved in the community since late 2016. I only pledged high enough to get in once 247 was over and they started seasons.
Oh, wow.
That was the first time I did it. Now, the weird thing is I actually had a reason behind it. So prior to that, we had the NDA. I was concerned that while I was still writing and producing content that was a lot of theory crafting, I didn't want to get stuck in a place where I actually said something that was correct and I couldn't say it.
Fair.
Because I have a lot of things that I think I know where a lot of stuff is actually going to go in the game, stuff that was in the lore that's going to show up in the game. Maybe. And I wanted to be able to say all that stuff without being gagged by an NDA. And so I was like, I'll wait to play it. It's okay. Everybody wouldn't get to play except for like once every 6 months anyway. So I'm like, I'm not spending money on that one.
Yep.
I'm not going to be one of those weirdos.
Whoa. Luckily for me, I'm rarely concerned with being right. So it's fine for me.
So anyway, so I stayed out for a while. So I have yet to play my main, which is going to be a human rogue.
Oh, get out. A human?
I'm playing a human. And I know how much you love playing humans, but I'm going to have to play one too, Dymlos. I'm sorry.
I mean, we'll never see each other, so it's fine.
I have to. I owe it to myself. If I'm an ogre, I have to hate Thrown Fast. If I'm a human, I want to choose to hate Thrown Fast. And I want to choose.
I've done made that choice.
To kill all of their guards. try to track down the Queen of Burning Hearts and slay her while she sleeps.
Yes.
Like, that's where I'm at. And I can't do that if I'm a Darkmer, because then it doesn't mean anything. I want it to mean something when I stab her in the back.
Yes. It sounds like you are Darkmer adjacent. So
hey, I've been tracing this dream for a long time. I'm like, whatever y'all are doing with this faction business, I better be able to have a town that I can go and camp at Black Rose Keep, because that's going to be the highest faction I have in the game. I can tell you that right now. I better have crafting stations. I better have merchants, like everything in Black Rose. And y'all can kill all of my friends. It's okay. I won't hold it against you.
Beautiful.
What is your favorite MMORPG story?
Ooh, that's an easy one. Actually, I have a runner-up too. Oh,
it's not that easy.
Yeah.
No, pick one. It's black and white.
Oh my gosh, Draq, your boxes.
Draq's boring questions. Here we go.
Oh. Okay, so the one that's my favorite was definitely getting my my legendary weapon in EverQuest. And I can't even remember the name of it because it was that important to me.
What class did you play?
My epic weapon. It was a rogue. A human rogue. Dymlos, aren't you paying attention?
Did you play that in EQ? Did you say that?
Oh, I've played human rogue in like every single MMO.
Oh, well, here I thought you were a paladin lover.
The
and
Ragebringer?
now-
Is that what we're talking about? The
Just to let
Ragebringer?
you know, Paladin. Yes. Thank you. That quest was
Draq just looked that up, by the way. He didn't know that offhand.
I knew it.
absolutely loved it to death. As a matter of fact, I loved it so much that I'm pretty sure I screenshotted every time I was talking to someone. And then once that was done, a couple years after that was done, I actually wrote my first fan fiction piece that was literally the story of my guy getting the Ragebringer, and it followed the story of that, the quest that you have to go through, and just added some pieces here and there, but kept a lot of the same narration.
Nice.
And it was just like the most fun thing ever. It was so fun doing that epic quest. And so that was definitely the highlight of everything that I've done in MMO, except for the other night in Pantheon. I'm so tired and I'm really bored because I can't get a group.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was running around collecting nodes and I fell asleep at the keyboard for like 5 seconds. And I woke up and I was dead because I fell off a cliff. And I was like, well, this is what we asked for.
Yep. That's exactly right.
I feel like
And I
you
was
snuck
like-
that second story in there, though.
That is, but I will tell you, like, I'm pretty sure I laughed out loud to myself because I was like, that is so cool. I never could have killed myself like that in like half the MMOs I played. Just walking around in a safe zone, like a
This is what we
safe
wanted.
environment, and kill myself. Like,
And they even took the
Pantheon-
safe fall.
Pantheon
like
is great.
The damage that you take is way less. So you must have
It's
like
way,
been
yes.
way up there.
It was a long fall. It
We're
was.
old enough to remember that when you'd fall off a little teeny weeny ledge, it would just kill you dead.
Oh my gosh. It used to be so high. Yes.
It was so bad.
Yes. It's way easier now to accidentally fall off of stuff and live. I kind of don't like it,
Yeah, I think
But-
I like to live a little more dangerously.
but I like to climb though. I love climbing.
I don't think climbing should be as penalized because
I love climbing. Who was that on the stream the other? Was that Draq? Was that you, Draq? Who had like a 12 climbing skill?
yeah,
Yes,
At level
that
like
was me.
15, 16. How
he's not
dare you?
I
he's
know.
How
not good
dare
with
you.
skilling.
Oh my gosh.
It's not great. No, I'm not. I'm not. A, I'm not an explorer. B, I don't go anywhere alone because I can't find my way back there if I die. And C, I need people to help me skill up my stuff. Really, I'm kind of a leech. Like, I don't know if you picked that up over the years. But
Hence wizard.
Well, that's why you always have so much money, because you don't spend any of your own doing anything.
that's
Yep.
a true
You let
story.
everyone else do all
It's
the
a
hard
true
work for
story.
you.
All right,
Yeah,
moving
you
on to
miser.
Dymlos's pointless and fluffy questions.
All right, fluffy question 1 of 3. If you were stuck on a desert island with one game for the rest of your life, no internet, what would it be?
Final Fantasy VII. Next.
Easy.
That's, and not the remake.
Not the remake, the old one.
Not because the remake is not good, but I feel like the remake has less replayability than the first one for some reason. I don't know why.
Fair. All right, what is something about you that your community might not know about you?
Next question.
Okay.
I feel like the community knows nothing about me,
Yeah.
and
So you could
that
say
is-
anything.
and that is exactly where I planned to be at this moment in time. A complete and utter paradox.
An enigma wrapped inside of another enigma.
That's right. That's the way it's going to be, folks.
Oh, you'd think you'd not agree to an interview. You didn't want people to know things about you.
How will people know that they don't know anything about me if they don't know who I am?
All right, we've got podcast inception now. All right, moving on. You got your wish, Draq. We're moving on. Describe to the people what types of content you do that when people have not seen your videos at all.
My content slays, actually.
Word.
No, I do not do. Oh gosh, what's the best way to put this? Without hurting every content creator's feelings.
Just let them have it.
Yeah, don't hold back.
I try to maximize the amount of information and entertainment into my videos as possible without having to read large sums of information. So I like to use visuals. I like to use flashy music. And that allows me to give information without it sounding like you're droning on about something and having to fill up space. Because it's really hard not to do that if you're recording yourself. Because I have done videos where I actually am narrating the video, and it's much easier to produce those videos, but it is much harder to be succinct in doing those videos than it is if you cannot use the spoken word. And so I do like to do videos where everything is just on the screen and there's no talking. However, I have started doing more videos where I am talking, but I try to keep it lighthearted and, some jokes thrown in there and stuff like that. Just kind of be silly a little bit so that it doesn't feel like I'm a news anchor. And other than that, I do a lot of fan fiction, and I do a lot of, I'm doing audiobooks with the content creation community that is voice acting all of the parts of the books. And it has been phenomenal. They have been doing a fantastic job. And I believe right now, Draq should stop this video right where it is and insert a short passage from one of the videos showing his prowess as a voice actor.
We will bring back the old man. He's making an appearance right now.
The old one needs his time in the sun. He had his time in Fairthale, and I know half of you have no idea that connection was there. He is the same old one that was in Fairthale. If you go back and watch those old dev streams.
We have striven hard, the red raven, to thwart the current inhabitants of Turnus for reaching Dragon and Core. But the sea we are moving into a dark age. The seed of life that is connected to the lives of Turnus since its creation is being severed from its children. With these connections broken, so is the connection to the knowledge and wisdom of the world. Even I, in my state of timelessness, cannot make out the consequences of all actions. It seems the broken ties with the Pantheons of Turnus are having effects in ways that may not have been planned.
The old one explained. And Draq does him justice. Just want to say, probably the best actor who's never received an Oscar or an Emmy.
I know. I'm willing to take that.
In humility, Draq. That's what we love about you. Your humility.
Yeah, that is true.
The news.
Yeah. I'm telling you. It was off-duty regular standing right there by the docks with his back to the bandits who were clearly doing something shady.
The notes.
Dear Diary, it's been a year since Jobab died, but I swear I saw his skelly outside of town yesterday.
This October, Static Group Live brings you VR News and Notes.
It is not claimed that the quality of the bumper produced by this content creator is greater than the quality of bumpers produced by other content creators.
All right, VR News and Notes. We had some exciting stuff this week. Number one, the supporters are in. Huzzah! That means that officially, if you have pledged to Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, if you have a buddy code from a friend that's pledged to Pantheon Rise of the Fallen, anybody that's ever given money to VR ever is in.
You're in.
You're in.
Let me just say this to tack on to those wonderful words. If you waited long enough not to have to pay the ridiculous sums of money to mostly not play this game, you too can play.
You two can play. And you're probably way smarter than Dymlos and I. And you definitely saved yourself a little bit of a heartache because there were some rough times in there. But also, we're going to spill a little beans today because From Fate, who is one of the sacred servants over at VR, which is the community council for VR, she got permission from Sav to let us know that VR has broken a new record for their servers, and they've had 700 people on one server at the same time, and it's been flawless. The whole thing's running, chugging along, working fantastic. So new records being broken. They really have done a great job, and that's 700 people over 3 different zones, probably most of them in 2 different zones. So that's pretty good.
That's really good.
I totally agree with that. I think that the community as a whole should take a step back about all your arguing and just understand that had they not taken like 2 years off to get the networking right,
dude, and listen,
we would not be able to have 700 players on one server.
This is a huge deal. And we have been known to criticize VR for when they don't get stuff right. But this, they have
never.
They have absolutely nailed this. This is a huge deal, and they deserve to be praised for it. It is absolutely amazing. Because
they have done a fantastic job with their network stack. Absolutely.
Because we've all played MMOs
Kyle,
where
we love you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well done, Kyle. Good job.
But we do have to take the good with the bad. And the bad is we recently have a VR Q&A dev stream that was on Twitch. And oh my goodness, they had some issues. They tried to do Stream Together, which we at this channel have tried before, and it is a hot garbage mess. Like, Stream Together is a great idea in like the clouds and fairyland and make-believe world, but Stream Together in practice is awful and is garbage. But they tried it and it didn't go well. They had sound issues, they had video issues, like it was not great. And I mean, I want to let them off the hook. I want to say, well, you know, they're not really streamers. But on the other hand, man, you got to test this stuff. You got to be prepared. If you're going to give an official VR QA dev stream and you're going to put it on the official channel, you got to have your ducks in a row, man. Like, come on.
I actually think that Savanya, if you're listening out there, please.
She's not.
Give Draq a call. Just call him on the phone.
Me, Redbeard, anybody.
Grab that red Draq phone that you have on
your
red
Draq phone. Yep.
And just pick it up and give him a holler. He will help you.
I will not charge you. I won't charge you gold. I won't charge you money.
You.
Nothing.
Maybe a couple pineapple pizzas.
Something.
Yeah. Which I never got one. Thank you very much. Never got one. Never got one. Just saying.
We did get some information out of the Q&A session, though. Some good information. Pledges closed December 1st. Boom.
Love having that deadline.
Done. So that's the first hard date that we've seen for this EA process. So that's really good. I really like that they put that out there. Gives us a nice time frame. If you want to be a pledge, $50 is great. I think that like years down the road when we're playing this game, you're going to be able to say, I tested Pantheon. I was part of the pledgers. I think that's going to be super cool and definitely worth the $50. Number 2, we have a wipe. We have a reconfirmed wipe for EA. So if you are playing right now, do not fall in love with your character because you're going to get wiped.
What is up with people asking that question?
Don't even start.
What is up with people asking that? I don't understand.
I paid money and I'm playing the game now. Every hour that I put in is 100% mine. I'm not testing. I'm playing a game that I paid for.
I'm telling you. And hey, me and Draq were talking about we need to have grace for all these people that have been following this game for like the last 27 years that it's been in development. But if you're starting a new thing, yes, there is going to be a wipe. Yes. I don't even know why we needed. Why was that an announcement? That should have been like, someone should have like knocked on the on their microphone and been like, McFly.
Hello, McFly.
I don't know. It's going to continue to be a problem. People are going to continue to ask it.
I know.
It's going to be a thing. People, I guarantee you, we're going to log on to early access on to EA, and people are going to be like, "Oh, come on, I had to create a new character. I don't understand."
So stupid.
Yeah. Dymlos, you're gonna have to be nice.
I am trying to be nice. I am in full niceness mode right now.
You're just gonna have to be nice.
I promised the people on the After Dark that I'd give my opinion, and I am holding my opinion back because this is not nice.
At least a PG stream. So
yeah,
hold it in.
I absolutely am.
Clench those butt cheeks.
Well, this should make you happy, Dymlos. We have some raid sizes, possible raid sizes that may or may not change. We have maybe 36, maybe 24, possibly some 12 sprinkled in there, and maybe some uncapped raids. How do you feel about all these different raid sizes?
So what you're telling me, Draq, is that we still have no clue how big a raid's going to be. Great.
There's the Dymlos we love. There he is. He's come out to play.
Why don't you share your feelings with the class?
I mean, this is fine. We don't even have raid content made yet, except the one, and we still don't even really know if that is.
That's technically not even raid content. That's supposed to be group content.
Yeah, so we still don't know. That's fine. We're still in testing. This is not a soft launch for all the mouth breathers out there. It's fine. I'm still in the same place. I'm glad that we address that we still don't know, that we've got 4 possibilities. I'm cool with all of them. 36 is not ideal. Uncapped is not really a raid. It's just a show up thing. And I guess maybe raids could try to challenge it, but if it's uncapped, I mean, people are just going to do the EQ thing, right? And bring 100 people. Hey, who wants to come do this?
They did caveat the uncapped though, and said when we say uncapped, we're talking about like world content.
Sure. And so that means shouts in OOC, come to this in 2 hours, and we're going to try and take it down. That's fine. I have no problem with that. That's cool. That's fun. That's what brings the community together, right? So I'm all for that. But we didn't answer any questions because we have 4 different types of raid possibilities, and maybe all 4 will get in there, and that's cool too, because we're going to need content, because 36 is a lot of people to wrangle. Like I've been in some EQ raids where you've got, 8 groups of 6, and it's not pleasant. Like if you're the raid leader of that and trying to wrangle that many people together at once, it's not fun. So 24 is more my speed, which is what I'm hopeful for. 12, 2 group content is great. That makes that real easy. If that's going to be viable raid content, you split the raid up in 2. You've got 2 leaders that go, and that's great.
Does it make me a bad person that I hope they just go for 12 and that's it? That's all the raid content I need. I don't think so. Bigger raids.
I don't either. 36 is a lot.
There's people that actually have more than 11 friends that are out there.
I mean,
Draq doesn't even have 11 friends. So
I have Dymlos, who brings his 10 friends. That's all I got. Friends. I'm a little sad because also they have lifted the action bar, the utility bar, and the class and the combat bar, and they've said all that out the window. Now you just get 2 bars. And you do what you want. You put what you want on there. It's up to you. You play your way. I'm taking you're not a fan.
If you are an old person and liking this game, you can't be a fan. This is
can't.
Only for the new people that have recently plugged in, because the whole thing since the beginning is limited action. That's the whole point of the whole game. And now we're just kind of throwing it out, and not necessarily throwing it out, right? Like 2 bars is still not a whole lot in comparison to MMOs right now. I mean, look at EQ2. I'm using 10
Oh my
action
gosh.
bars.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's a ton. So to scale it down to 2, that is limited. To me, someone that plays a game like that is pretty limited, but I feel bad for the druids, the rangers, the classes that are going to be repeated. Like they're never going to find a group because it's not, you're worthless now. Now that I can get all your buffs out of one druid or one shaman, one cleric, I don't need another one. There's not even a need to look for another one. If someone says, hey, I'm a cleric, well, I already got a cleric. Sorry, you're out. There's not even a second thought of having a second class of the same class in my group because you bring nothing to the table because I can get everything out of one of that class now. So it's super heartbreaking to me because there is nothing worse than playing a popular class like a druid and never being able to find a group. If you play druid, you will never group. End. That's the end of this. So all the new people that brought this in, I hope you all play druids, and I hope that you all sit in OOC for countless hours because you've shot yourself in the foot. This is 100% your fault. I would have loved, and remember, Draq, and this is before you got to play, Benonai, but there was a time where having 3 shamans in the group was meta. Because you split up all the different buffs and they did a ton of damage.
Yep.
It was great.
But also
now,
at that time there was only 5 classes, so that's
true. That is true.
That was a little bit of it.
But
no,
now,
but you would.
I'm never
totally
take
3 shaman. You would totally take 3 shaman. It was fine.
It was great.
They each did something different.
My knee-jerk reaction when that fell out of Joppa's mouth was seething hatred.
Yeah.
Dropped the seething hatred.
It really was. I am not one to get upset. That really upset me. And then he tried to walk it back. And so once he walked it back slightly, my
less seething.
My seething hatred, the green skin started to fade back to whatever color I am, since no one knows. And once I calmed down, then I was able to be like, okay, well, if they do the 2 bars, and let's see if Dymlos explodes on this one too. If they do the 2 bars, but the 2 bars only allow up to 12 buttons. How do you feel about that?
I mean, that's kind of what it's looking at though, right? Like that's what we're looking at.
Yeah. So, I mean, currently how many we got, what, 19, I think now?
Yeah.
Something like that. We've got a 6 and a 4 and then a 9 down below, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Something
so if
like
it's
that.
12, sure.
So if it's 12, if it's only 12 abilities, but they can be any abilities that you want. How do you feel about that?
You're saying 12 total or 12 per bar?
12 total. 12 total.
Ooh, that'd be tight.
Well, that's what we wanted.
12 total.
Then we didn't get rid of the limited action bar.
It's not, because I believe what Joppa was trying to get to was that the breaking them out into 3 different types of abilities is causing them issues. And I don't know if it's balancing issues. I don't know if it's just people complaining about it, but I believe that is actually the problem that they're trying to solve.
Well, I need to see things in a certain order, right? Like I can make the hotkey whatever, but if my 1 is over here and my 2 is over here and my 3 is on this other bar, then it's confusing to look at. And so I'm all for it. Put it all on 1 bar. If it's 12, perfect. That's what we wanted. Limited action. Then you could still have 2 of 1 class and it still work out. I would be totally fine with having 2 druids.
Hey, now we can just keep going with Dymlos. What about 14, Dymlos?
Just stop.
What about, how about 16, Dymlos? Are you okay with 16? I'm just trying, market research.
Cut. This is
Market
cut.
research is
We're
all
cutting the
this
show.
Here's my problem with that is every pug you're going to get into from here to the end of time, because we were talking about it earlier. There's a lot of people in Pantheon right now that are not the old guard. The VIPs are like way down in or people that have been around for a long time are way down in the population. The bulk of the population of people playing Pantheon are new, and they don't know what they're doing. And so at least when you had the combat action bar designated to only having those skills, you could explain to people what was going on and how to use it, right? If you get it to 12 skills, no one that doesn't know what they're doing is going to put any of those things on their bar.
What's an interrupt? I don't need this. I'm not even going to buy it.
It's not gonna.
It's not a fireball. I don't want this.
It's just going to be a hot. It's going to be difficult to get the pugs to use the advanced combat system.
It's like he's got them all hypnotized, you know? They hang on every word, every gesture, just waiting for him to command them. He's got them under his spell, I think.
See you as well.
Joppa streamed for 11 hours, 21 minutes this week. He had 4 different streams. And this week was very cozy for Joppa. Very cozy. We were decorating a lot of houses.
Looks
we were
good.
showing off paintings and chimneys and plates and tables and lots of decorations. We made a new bank.
That's great. Putting some polish.
I feel like this was where they should have brought me in. Like I am the player housing guy. Like they could have brought. I could have done this. I could have made cozy little houses on the stream.
Listen, Draq, they don't want gaudy, no feng shui.
Whoa.
No.
Hey, have you ever won an EQ2 housing award? I don't think that you have.
That's
No,
right.
not.
Only
I
I
have
have.
not.
Thank
No.
you.
That's right. You need to leave this to the true metrosexual. Draq knows his place, and he's good at what he does.
What do you think about Joppa putting in show stuff and decorating houses and banks? What do you think about that?
Well, he's a artsy fartsy guy. You know, he does the music thing. He probably does some art. You know, he's the perfect person for the job as far as I'm concerned.
I'm going to try not be insulted by that.
I'm going to agree with you wholeheartedly, because what we apparently don't want Joppa working on is waterfalls.
We have added water into the game. Crest.
Yay.
The Crest water system. So now we have oceans, and soon
Does it have fluoride in it?
I think so. I mean, it has to, right? We got oceans and rivers and some lakes and even some misshapen waterfalls.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And the thing that I'm most excited about when I hear about the new Crest water system going in is knowing that they're going to have to take all of that back out and replace it in just a couple of months. So excited about that.
You think they will? You think they're going to replace it all?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Crest is a stopgap for Unity 6's water system soon after.
As long as it makes my teeth whiter, I'm fine.
Perfect.
So that's why Pantheon is different and why community matters.
Community Spotlight.
Well, we didn't really have any community spotlight this week, but Ben and I made this amazing community spotlight bumper. So we had to go find some. So this week we're highlighting Nathan Napalm's amazing, scary Halloween video. If you have not seen this video and you have been following Pantheon for longer than 6-8 months, you definitely need to go watch this video all the way to the end. I know it starts out and you're like, what the heck? This doesn't have anything to do with Pantheon. Trust me, you got to get to the end. Just trust me.
I'm going to throw in one more plug right here, since Community Spotlight and I feel like I am the leader of the entire community.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan
So,
was
I can say
adding
this.
all his own content as we were going along. So, I mean, guests just take over this show.
I do not want to discuss my content. I am going to discuss that. So the other day I was looking around and I was like, oh, look, there's someone I've never seen before that was listing their content in the creator content channel on the official Discord. These are just a handful of people who are now streaming the game, and half of these I've never heard of before. Some of these you will know about. Half of these I've never heard of before, but I wanted to at least give them a shout out to see that the community of people who are playing this game and promoting this game is growing by leaps and bounds. Hot Kittens, Arthax, Low2, Mr. Itwiz, WeGraph, Knight Rider 2000. Obviously, Nate started doing his again on the Pallies. Annoying Llama is, Decos, Black Boa, Chris Frozen is actually doing some really good videos highlighting different classes right now. We've got people making leather maps of the continents. We have Booch still making art. We have brand new people writing fanfic. I don't know if anybody knows about this. Timian has been writing stuff for like the last 6 months. He's got several new pieces of short story fanfic that's out there on the official forums. Nagasaki jumped in and tried to, he was playing around with some AI, trying to create a story, a Pantheon story with AI. He posted that on the fan fiction. So there is a lot of new content that's being produced out there. Y'all definitely need to go out, support these people that are supporting the game that we want to play.
Don't be scared. I just want to play a game with you.
This news is crazy. Embers Adrift.
Dropped today, as of this recording.
This is current news, cutting edge. Stormhaven Studios has not been paid by Digital River since June. So Digital River is kind of like the company that collects all the subscriptions for Embers Adrift. And apparently they've just been keeping the money, which is fantastic for them, but awful for the devs over at Embers Adrift. So they are going to dump Digital River and they're going straight to Steam. So
here we go.
There we go.
Steam ahead.
Full steam ahead. And also they set up a like a GoFundMe or a donation page because they haven't been paid. So yeah, if you like Embers Adrift, you want to support them a little bit, make sure the link will be in the show notes below. But what do you guys think about this craziness, Embers Adrift craziness in Steam? And
this is why indie developers can't get rolling, right? They just were taken advantage of. I mean, it's been 5 months now. No one. That's unbelievable. And that they're still paying for this game to continue to operate. It's unbelievable. I just feel so bad. I love this game. They did a great job with this game. I wish that VR would hire this whole staff and what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I do that out loud?
Yeah, that was very loud.
In my head.
Did you not enjoy Embers Adrift?
Let's just say that I don't think we need to be too harsh right now on Digital Rivers because I stopped paying Embers Adrift long before that.
I mean, there are still people that pay them money.
I stopped paying for that game a long time ago.
Listen, sometimes you pay not necessarily to play the game. It's the dream behind the game. It's why we all pledge to Pantheon.
That's absolutely right. And that's why all of their developers are living in cardboard boxes because you can't cash a dream.
Wow. Hot take. First off, we announced they've been kicked down for 5 months straight, and now you're saying, "Fuck yeah." You basically just dropped the cardboard box bomb on them after they've not been paid for 5 months. Come on. The game, though, has no magic, which is everyone's excuse to not play it, including Draq.
I don't even play magical characters. I don't play it because it sucks, personally.
Oh, man. All right. Hot takes by Benonai. Woo. The game doesn't suck. It just,
oh my gosh.
It needs a lot of work. It still needs a lot of work.
Okay. Okay. All right. I will rephrase. I'll rephrase, Judge.
Yeah.
The game only sucks right now until they can make it not suck anymore.
There you go. There you go. So always spin it towards that positive.
Look at you being all Redbeard Flynn over here.
The views of Ben and I do not reflect the views of the Rewind.
5.
Draq, I'm so disappointed in you.
4.
Luckily, every week I dominate this list and just destroy Dymlos.
3.
I thought you would just tuck your head between,
No
your
way.
butt cheeks.
No, my list is amazing.
It's not at all.
2.
Oh, already your list is the worst. Your list is the worst.
1.
We are here for another section of Top 5. As you listen to in our amazing bumper made by Ben and I, of course, always have the best Top 5s, and it's no different this week, and we are bringing the heat this week. There are right answers and wrong answers this week. Make no mistake about it. This is not going to be a fluffy Top 5. This is out for blood Top 5. All right, so Halloween candy, Top 5 Halloween candy. It's going to be great. Dymlos, are you ready to get nasty?
I mean, here's the problem, Draq. Most candy is awesome. So I don't know if there's going to be some bad ones. We'll see.
Wow. Sounds like a guy that's ready to lose to me. Doesn't that sound like that to you, Ben?
Yeah, it sounds like he didn't put any effort into this list whatsoever.
That's kind of what it sounds like to me, too.
Whatever. This is the greatest candy list of all time. So I don't care what any of you say. Mine is definitely number one. But there are also other people out there that like candies. I like a lot of candies. We'll just kind of see where this ends up. All right, Ben and I know you've watched the show, so you get how the structure is. Draq's going to tell his terrible take. I will then give mine, and then you give yours, and we go 5-1.
All right. That's just enough rules for me to remember.
Perfect.
All right,
Number
Draq.
5. Number 5. Only eat these during Halloween, never any other time of the year. Nerds.
Why only on Halloween?
Because nerds.
This is a great candy.
It's okay, but it's too much sugar to eat on a regular basis. So specifically only for Halloween, you get the little box of nerds. It's like it's like a shot. You just take it, you open the little box, and you just back it and down all the nerds at once. Dymlos, you're number 5.
Number 5. I like sugar. I like chocolate. But I needed to have some sort of sugar representation on my top 5. So number 5 is Trolley Sour Gummy Crawlers. Yeah.
Why not actually get good gummies like Haribo? Why are you going with the trolley trash?
Because these are fun and delicious, and they're crawlers for Halloween. Oh, hold on. Are you telling me you don't like these things? And silence is confirmation.
I mean, if they were in my Halloween basket, would I eat them? Maybe.
Yeah, but they're definitely the last thing I eat out of the basket.
Yeah, they're like right down there with the Tootsie Rolls and the...
oh, no. Do not put this in
candy
D tier.
The little bag
This is not D tier
corn.
candy. Get out. All right, Ben and I, you're number 5. Let's hear what you got.
Okay, let me preface the start of this list by saying I am so tired of Draq getting the short end of the stick every week.
Have you heard his terrible list?
Preach it.
Dymlos poo-pooing on his list. So with that said, Draq, I'm giving you a week off with my list.
Yes.
Number 5, Halloween candy for Halloween. Number 5, water. You know these little pods? They call them pods. They're little tiny water bottles. Okay. Now just go with me. Just go with me on this. Okay.
Troll list. Here comes the troll list.
The kids are out. They're walking around. They're gonna get dehydrated.
Half bottle of water. That's what you're giving out to the kids.
Ghosts, all the little Ninja Turtles falling down on the sidewalks. From
if that's where we're starting in number 5, we are in trouble.
That's where they need to be. That's where that gets them started. That's base level. That's why it's number 5, baby. It's
greatest number 5 Halloween pick of all time. That's all I just say about that.
That will get your house egged. So basically, Benonai, you have created the top 5 list of things to give children to get your house egged.
We will see about that.
Okay, can't wait. I can't wait for your number 4 raisins pick and your number 1 candy corn pick. Sugar-free sugar babies. That's the
sugar-free sugar. That's
right.
Oh,
your list is going to be a Draq
Sweet and low
list.
Packets were number 6. They got pushed out by water.
Oh, all right. Draq, give me your number 4.
Number 4, Baby Ruth. It's gonna move ya. I don't think that was the right song for the right thing.
It definitely wasn't.
No, Baby Ruth. I love the Baby Ruth.
I thought that was the X-Lax song. I didn't know that was for Baby Ruth.
Well, I mean, just because we use Baby Ruths to look like poop in pools, that's the only correlation.
I love the Baby Ruths. You got the little nut, you got the chocolate, you got the nugget. Amazing mini Baby Ruths, number 4.
Okay. Again, I like candy, but if this is in your top 5 list, you are terrible at candy. You have no idea what delicious candy tastes like. I will eat a Baby Ruth. I don't even mind, but Baby Ruth is definitely D tier candy.
So you're saying Baby Ruth should be excommunicated from variety packs of candy bars?
It's the filler.
It's the filler.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
Mars bars are the fillers.
There's no variety pack that has Mars bars in it. Are you thinking Three Musketeers?
No,
that is
Mars
also
bars.
filler.
No, the Mars
Baby
bars
Ruth
are the
is on tier with Three Musketeers as filler. Get out.
Let's not
get out. Your list
here.
is already terrible.
No.
Next.
You're next. Why are you nexting?
Peanut M&Ms. Best M&M. There's no doubt in my mind that every other M&M is lesser than the peanut M&Ms.
You mean except for peanut butter, right?
No, the peanut butter is definitely below peanut
butter.
M&Ms.
May be the worst M&M.
Okay, I'm so glad that you said that, Benonai.
Sorry, Draq.
Even though your list is bunk and a troll, I'm glad your opinion is still valid. And yes, peanut butter is by far the worst of all the M&Ms.
Nothing is worse than those caramel M&Ms. Nothing.
But unfortunately, they're followed very closely by the peanut M&Ms because everybody knows peanuts are trasher nuts than almonds.
Well, I prefer the almonds, but you don't find those. Like they've kind of slowly put them in like variety bags.
So you just don't love the children enough to get them good M&Ms.
No, I don't.
I see where you're going.
They don't.
Okay.
They don't sell an all almond pack.
No. I guess peanut M&Ms do belong on the very bottom of someone's top 5 list. Yeah, I guess. You put it in the right spot.
You're never coming back on the show. Oh, this is so good. Dymlos finally gets a taste of his own medicine. I've established the best M&M to give the children for Halloween. Number 4, Benonai. Please continue your troll list.
Troll list is a bit strong. It's a bit strong. These are well thought out picks for best Halloween candy.
All right, raisins, here we go.
So coming in at number 4 is the obvious choice for the end of October, cough drops.
Oh, I love this list.
Oh my God.
If anyone has worked in a school, or even have kids in school, you know all these kids are running around coughing on everybody, giving everybody the Rona.
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
Enough of that.
You can get them honey flavored. They're delicious. They just basically taste like sugar.
Are good. Throw a couple of those in their box. You know what? Skip it. unwrap them, put it in their mouth. Just go ahead and just insert it directly.
I'm
into
sure
their
parents
mouth.
won't hate that for every one of their kids.
Just
Here you go.
You'll just tell them, you'll thank me later. Trust me. You'll thank me later. That's what you tell them. Tell them Ben and I said, you'll thank me later.
Oh, I love this list. I absolutely love this list.
See, no, I just want to, for the record, for posterity, no one argued with my fourth pick. Just saying.
Because I'm too busy laughing at it.
I'm bringing it, baby.
Love it. I love it. All right, Draq, your terrible list. Keep going. Number 3.
Number 3. This is like, this is just standard fare, right? Like, if you don't have Kit Kat on your top 5 list, then you're probably failing. You know, you got to have Kit Kat. It's a staple for candy. It's a staple for Halloween. It's just, you got to have it on your list. Number 3, Kit Kat.
I mean, you can't go wrong with wafers and chocolate. Like you're right. It is a staple. It's, you know, it's in the variety packs for Halloween. It's easy for children to eat. It's delicious. You can't go wrong. It definitely deserves a spot on a top 5 list for sure.
Agreed. It is the absolute safe pick.
Yeah.
Yep. I've already forgotten what it was that you said. It's so safe. I can't even remember.
That's Draq. Safe as can be.
Wow.
Never goes out on a limb. Eats chocolate that looks like turds. That's our Draq. Number 3 is the GOAT, Snickers. This is the candy bar. This is the be-all, end-all candy bar for fun-sized stuff. Oh, are you kidding me?
You want to talk about filler?
Blow up Snickers.
Okay, all right. I'll tell you, the person who asked for Snickers every time I go to a convenience store with them is my elderly father.
How can he chew it? He wears dentures.
And
you can't have
let
caramel.
me just say it in a voice that Joppa understands. I got to bring out his favorite. When he's sitting there and he's telling me about the old days, Snickers is what he used to have, and I had them every time he went fishing.
That's Werther's original. Get out of here.
That's amazing. I vote we bring back Ben and I for every top 5 list from here on out.
Absolutely not. He's already off the show. I'm literally cutting out every piece of
There's
Ben and
not
I
even
that
to be a
there is in the
rewind
show.
this week. I'm pretty sure.
Rewind's canceled, everybody. Sorry.
Yeah, COVID happened somewhere on the earth. It was COVID somewhere.
Oh, come on. Snickers is the GOAT. It's basically a Baby Ruth, only better. I mean, it's... Yeah.
If by better you mean not as good, then yes.
Oh, are you kidding me? Everybody in the comments, Draq just said that Baby Ruth is better than Snickers. Please let him know. Please let him know live on Saturday. Please let him know in the comments how wrong he is. Snickers is S tier candy.
You don't know the palate of all these random people on the internet. You don't know if they have sophisticated palates enough to appreciate a Baby Ruth.
Listen, when you go and have a bowl of candy that's just random candy, little fun-sized candies, the first candy bar that's eliminated from that bowl is all the Snickers.
No way.
Yes.
No.
100 times out of 100, you are out of Snickers first.
First of all, the first thing you're snagging is all those Baby Ruths. Then you're going straight for the Kit Kats.
Feel like the Smarties
Kit Kat's
come
a
out
second.
first.
Kit Kat's a second, but Snickers is number 1.
No.
Snickers is gone first.
No.
Plus, it's the only candy bar that's also a meal. Like, what do you eat when you're hangry? You eat a fucking Snickers every time.
Ben and I, number 3. All right, I'm gonna need you to just hold it together for a second so I can explain this one.
Good, you about to drop the raisin bomb?
I promise you, it makes sense.
Okay, here we go.
Number 3, razor blades. Now, listen to me. Listen, I know some of you are thinking, no.
Gummy razor blades?
No.
I think your family might have missed the point of Halloween.
Listen. Razor blades
Gotta learn them.
Are the unicorn of Halloween candy, are they not? Raise your hand if your parents ever told you to watch out for razor blades in your candy when you went Halloween.
It's true.
It's true. 100 times out of 100.
And did you ever find one?
Nope.
No. It's the rare EX Pokemon that we never found.
It is the rarest Pokemon of all Pokemon Halloween candies, Razor Blades.
And so you're saying if you put Razor Blades in there, then you're giving the gift of finding rare Pokemon.
You will be the one person on Earth whose parents can say, see, I told you don't eat the Snickers because they're the only thing that can hide a razor blade. I told you that when you went out.
That's because the parents want to steal it. That's the number one candy bar stolen out of kids' bags. It's a myth. It's a EverQuest myth. Razor Blades is the EverQuest myth.
Razor Blades are the unicorn of all Halloween candy.
Oh my God.
It's not a myth after this rewind. Number 2, Reese's Pieces. Not Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Reese's Pieces.
This is where your list has gone to trash.
No
one wants Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces
This
are
is
amazing.
the absolute. This is worse than D tier candy. This goes at the very bottom. It's like C tier candy. It's right above candy corn. Is where Reese's Pieces
to the
is.
Reese's Pieces every time. It's Reese's Pieces are amazing.
No. Reese's Pieces is the last in the bowl. When kids show up and the bowl is sitting outside, take what you want. It's all Reese's Pieces that's left. Yeah.
I don't know.
As someone who hates peanut butter M&Ms, that's basically what Reese's Pieces is. So I don't know how you.
Oh my god,
they're better.
No. 10,000 times. That's why no one.
Aliens eat this candy.
That's why no one wants peanut butter M&Ms because they're like, I could buy peanut butter M&Ms or I could just buy Reese's Pieces.
No.
Exactly.
No. There's a reason that this was ET's favorite candy because it takes an alien to be able to love this shit.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yeah.
How much consistency, how much stability do you have to say, you know what? M&Ms can do whatever they want with all their whole rainbow of colors with Skittles and stuff. No, you only need 2 colors to enjoy candy. Orange and brown.
That's it.
Aren't there yellow ones?
Who cares about yellow?
Oh, okay, great.
It's a shade of
the
orange.
list is bunk.
No one cares.
Ben and I's reasoning is
one
bunk.
cares.
It's all this is a bunk
yellow.
candy.
You see what I have to deal with?
Get in the
every week,
comments,
Ben and
people.
I?
Reese's Pieces, terrible candy. D tier candy.
All right.
Once again, Liz.
What's your number 2 then?
Well, I mean, my number 2 is $100,000. It's you got the crackle, you got the caramel, you got the nougat, and it's $100,000. What a great name! Do you want $100,000? Hell yeah, I want $100,000 every time.
But the only time you're getting $100,000 as Halloween candy is if you stop by Diddy's house.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Do not attach this candy bar to that person ever again. Cut. We don't have any Diddy talk in the rewind. It's cut.
The only person who even knows what $100,000 candy bar is the only other person who knows what a Charleston chew is. I'm just saying.
I think the $100,000 is older than Ben and I's grandpa.
It's not. $100,000 is it came out in the 90s. It's a newer candy bar, honestly. It's certainly newer than the Baby Ruth.
I'd rather have a Mars bar than $100,000. Like those are awful.
Drac, your trash talk is terrible too. Your trash talk is D tier, and your candy is D tier.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy Ben and I's number 2 more than I'm going to enjoy $100,000. So Ben and I, why don't you tell us what you?
Yeah, let me go ahead and just everyone erase that from your mind. Let me give you the real number 2. The real number 2 is absolutely pepperoni Hot Pockets. Can you imagine the faces of the children walking up and they're tired, they're weary. You know, they've got their water pods.
Hot
already. They got
Pocket.
that from the guy down the street. And then all of a sudden, a dude hands them a warm, tasty pepperoni Hot Pocket.
And they've instantly burned their mouth. You have burned all the mouths of children everywhere, Ben and I. Thank you.
That's what the water pods are for. Hello.
And if you give them if you give them a cough drop that's like mint flavored, then it goes away.
See, that takes because you know some of those pepperoni Hot Pockets, you don't know it when you buy them, and then when you eat it, you realize that right above where it said pepperoni Hot Pocket, it has that little tag on it that says garlic crust or whatever it said, whatever the crap that is. No, No. Are you listening to me, Hot Pocket people?
I hope so.
Stop with the garlic. What is that even? We don't need that. We don't need that. Don't do that. For the children.
For the children. For the children.
For the children. Speaking of the children, my number one. The number
You're
one.
gonna eat children?
Chocolate covered children.
The number one poached candy out of my kids' Halloween buckets is Sour Patch Kids, because that is the best candy that you can possibly get. The
Dude,
number
who
one
is giving kids Sour Patch Kids in Halloween candy for reals?
I mean, Sour Patch Kids is good, but here's the problem. That's the same thing as the sour trolley gummy crawlers.
No, it is. No,
it's way better than that.
No.
They are on the same level.
Oh,
Get
not
out.
even close. Get out.
I don't think you've even eaten one, Draq. So I don't even want your.
No, get out.
Oh,
That's because there's only like 7 people in America that have ever eaten a trolley,
That's
whatever.
100% true right there.
That's not at all accurate.
That is straight from CNN.
See, that's why they had to go out and hire Tim Burton to make all their new commercials.
Oh my God. Okay, well, Sour Patch Kids are good. The watermelon ones are even better. They've put out new ones like grape and strawberry. If you've not seen the strawberry ones, those are all right. Not as good as like the original. I still like a little sour to my gummy. So nope, this is good. This is an okay pick overall. Draq though, you got Sour Patch Kids, Kit Kats, and Nerds. The rest of your list is out. So you've got anywhere from
yours. Yes, I know.
You've got B tier candy. Kit Kat is A. Sour Patch Kids, okay. The rest is either meh to bunk. So once again, Draq, your list is crap.
I don't want to hear anything from the $100,000 guy.
Here comes the number one. Here comes the number one, Draq. Reese's Pumpkins, not the cups, because the cups are not accurate with their peanut butter peanut butter to chocolate ratio. It's the pumpkins. The Reese's Pumpkins are the best. All the shapes are the best. The trees, the eggs, every holiday has their own version of it. But here for Halloween, it is the Reese's Pumpkins. And the fact that this is not on your list, Draq, means that your list is complete garbage. Garbo, my friend. You've been listed again.
I would like to put a
Dymlos.
wager on the table and say that you couldn't tell the difference between a pumpkin and a regular Reese's peanut butter cup.
I mean, first off, the shape is different. So of course I could tell.
If I chop it up,
I absolutely could.
And put it in a bowl.
Absolutely
you could. Not
could.
tell the difference.
100 times out of 100.
No, we're gonna have to. I want to do this live. Let's.
Okay.
We're gonna have to stream this or something on the next After Dark.
All right. Well, fly me out to Seattle.
No, I'll just have Rob send you a case of both types of candy.
But I'm gonna know. I'm the one here opening them up and chopping them up.
Draq,
Draq, this is a terrible idea.
Draq, you're wrong.
Oh,
you're wrong. You're wrong, but you're wrong. You're right that it's still trash.
What?
Yes.
Yeah. Listen,
what do you mean? How can we both be right?
Okay. Listen, audience, tell me. What is the most important thing about a Reese's peanut butter cup? Is it the chocolate or is it the peanut butter filling? Which one?
Well,
it's obviously the chocolate.
No.
And pumpkins have way less chocolate around them.
Yeah, that's what makes them better. You eat a
Reese's peanut butter cup, nice, hard, solid piece
still
of chocolate
good, don't get me wrong.
on the top. It gives you a sense of just comfort that your finger isn't going to squish through that flimsy, sorry layer of chocolate they put on those pumpkins. And there's going to be chocolate on your finger and nothing on the top of the pumpkin because it's so cheap. It's so cheap and terrible. So cheap and terrible.
It's like they got a bunch of peanut butter at the discount aisle and they're like, what can we do with this?
The problem was Dymlos thought this was the top 5 worst Halloween candies.
Oh, get out. Get out.
And that one landed squarely at number 1 where it should have been.
I cannot wait for Benonai's number 1.
Yeah, let's hear it. Oh, raisins. I'm still waiting for raisins.
All right, young ones, come close. Come close. Is everybody
Please.
here? Is everybody here? Are you ready
Listen up.
for the
Gather
number
round.
one
Take a knee.
candy of Halloween? Candy corn pumpkins.
Of course it is. Of course it is. This
Candy corn pumpkins.
the only thing
are
worse than
not
candy corn pumpkins are actual candy corn themselves.
Candy
the pumpkins
corn
are slightly better because there's
is
more.
good. Candy
little-
corn pumpkins
Oh,
are legit.
D
And
tier.
everyone knows it.
Lowest
Everyone
of low.
knows it.
No.
You know what?
Get out.
You know what? They you cannot even buy that. They're so precious a commodity. They're so precious. They cannot even be sold unless it's Halloween time. They're like, nope, we have to lock them back in the Fort Knox vault,
Back in the vault.
not to
Oh.
be touched. They're groomed, they're watered daily, they're talked sweet to, they're played lovely music all year long
They get massages.
until they're ready to come back out. That's right. They have a whole spa set up just for the candy corn pumpkins. It's like living in Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. They have a good time in there.
Willy
They
Wonka
do.
does not even produce candy corn pumpkins.
You
That's
know
how
what?
bad they
And
are.
he's worse off for it.
Yeah.
If Willy Wonka would have made candy corn pumpkins, he probably would not have had to give his chocolate factory away.
He'd probably still be in business today.
Like the reason that he had to give it to some random kid from the streets was because the IRS was chasing him. I'm just saying. That's what I heard. I don't know that for a fact. That's just what I heard. They were coming for the factory and he had to offload it. And so he picked a random kid. And sorry, Charlie. That's where that
Yikes.
statement even came from. That's where that came
now
from.
he makes tuna.
Willy Wonka said to him as he was driving off in the Wonkavator, he said, sorry, Charlie. And he flew away.
And now we've got tuna. Charlie's tuna.
That's what he did. That was the only thing left.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I cannot let this slide. I can't believe, sometimes I can't even believe that Halloween candy is even in existence anymore, because it's when in the 60s or 50s when candy corn was developed, like that was the bee's knees of candy. Well, thank God that candy.
Oh my gosh, the bee's knees.
Yeah, exactly. That's how old it is.
Yep.
But now
With
that we
100
have real
grams.
candy
Yep.
in place, we can have these wonderful candies. But candy corn worst, barely a step up is candy corn pumpkins, barely a step up. And then barely a step up from there are those crappy orange and black toffee, or not toffee, taffy. Sorry, those little crappy Halloween taffies. That's like the old school crappy candy that we ate in the 60s. And here we are 80 years later from that.
Wait, you were
Sorry,
not
60
eating
years
candy
later
in
from
the
that.
60s.
Yeah,
Let's just
that's
get that
when he
straight.
was eating. That's when he was eating his candy. That's why he knows what a 100 grand and a Charleston chew is.
Okay, got
100
it.
grand was not produced back in the 60s. It was a 90s candy bar.
Yeah, well, guess what? We're not showing Google on the stream right now, so
Right. Yep.
I can say that all I want.
Great. Wonderful. Well, Ben and I,
Fact check this.
you have clearly made the trollest of lists, and I am here for it. I love this list that you've put together for us. I hope that other people look at this list and really just have a great laugh like I did. So
Admire it.
yeah.
Massage it.
Yep.
Yep. Name your kids after it.
Love
all
it.
of it.
Love it.
Absolutely.
However, we can't end here. We do have to look at our rating parties list of candies. So, Draq, if you could whip that up real quick.
Magical.
Wah. Okay, so we've got 15 candies here. Most of them have been covered already. So we're just gonna.
Some,
There are some that we are going to need to have
ones.
some discussions about, though. And so we'll just take a look at Zip's list first. His number 5. Are you kidding me? If you give this cherry cordial, chocolate covered cherry cordial to a child, you will be drummed out of the neighborhood. This is unacceptable.
Are
candy
you
to
planning
give.
on being arrested for Halloween? Like,
Yeah, exactly. This will absolutely get your house egged and toilet papered if you pass these out. Unbelievable that this is. How did this make it? I feel like this is a troll. This has to be a troll number 5 pick.
The worst part about that is they don't even sell those individually wrapped. So
yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Are you like literally placing this piece of chocolate into the mouths of the children as they come to your house?
Yeah.
Because that's the next level
not good.
of creepy.
It's not good.
Creeper.
It's not good. So terrible number 5. Your 4 is good. However you feel about coconut, I'm pro coconut, so I'm good with Almond Joys, especially because they've got almonds in them. So I'm in. I don't know. How about you, Ben and I? Are you pro coconut?
Step above mounds.
Yeah,
Step above mounds. Bring that
almond Joys have nuts, mounds
Bring
don't.
that almond.
Right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
2 thumbs down for anything coconut.
I love coconut, so I can't poo-poo on that. So I'm all for it. The Reese's Cup, I mean, just basically the step under the Reese's Pumpkin.
And Reese's Pieces.
No, absolutely not.
Yep.
And
Maybe
then
even
peanut
better
M&Ms.
than
Look,
Reese's
Zip
Cups.
had it number 1. Zip had peanut M&Ms number 1. So I don't even want to hear it.
I mean,
although he did have cherry cordials for 5. Yeah. If we just don't look at number 5, then we've got a great list here. So we'll just kind of forget that Zip said cherry cordials. Get the hell out of here. Okay, on to Annoying Llama. We've got Snickers. Great. Number 4, though, I assume that this is supposed to be candy corn and not candy core. Because if you're just giving if you're giving out apple cores that have been dipped in candy, then this is weird. That's super weird. So I assume that this was a typo.
There is so much nutrition in apple seeds.
The core of candy and the core of apples.
How do you not know that? So
that's where the seeds are. That's the most nutritious part.
Nerds. You dip it in caramel, roll it in nerds, and then they eat the seeds. They none the wiser.
Yeah.
Because of the nerds
and the stem. You know? So they've eaten the core and the stem of the
roughage.
apple.
We call that roughage.
Yeah, that's good fiber. That's
back
perfect
when we were
fiber.
all eating Charleston Chews back in the 60s, we called that roughage.
So candy corn bunk, candy core bunk, terrible. Annoying Llama. What were you thinking? Number 3, just the whole Reese's family. This is you couldn't even be more specific than just Reese's.
I can't be bothered with picking one.
I want it all. I want all the Reese's family. It's all number 3.
Mr. or Mrs. Reese, wherever you are, if you're watching this podcast, I do not share the views of this other host. I'm just letting you know. Your whole family is welcome at my house anytime. Anytime.
Oh, that's perfect.
I will eat all of your pieces. I like
them. Whoa. You said this was PG and you have now made it X. It's now rated X.
The Reese's Pieces. Like what? What? I don't understand.
Nope.
Worse than that, they put, as we've all agreed on, the only thing we've agreed on all night is that Three Musketeers is D tier candy.
Absolute filler. That's that. Yeah, I will say this. I do enjoy a Three Musketeers from time to time. Sometimes I don't want heavy chocolate and I want something light and fluffy. And especially the mint Three Musketeers, that does hit the spot pretty well. But
which is why you eat a Milky Way.
Yeah. Right.
But that's just enough of that fluffy garbage that's not good for anything. Along with something that actually tastes good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's chocolate and chocolate fluff, so I can't hate too much on it, but it is definitely D tier. That between, the Baby Ruths, the Three Musketeers, this is all like the last stuff that's
Snickers.
left over of the no. Snickers is number 1 taken. Get out.
Yeah.
But now we get to York peppermint patties, and here is why the York peppermint patty. I love mint, don't get me wrong, and I like York peppermint patties, but the reason that this cannot be on any list of a top 5 Halloween candy, because if you put one York peppermint patty in a bag full of chocolate and leave it there overnight, the whole bag now tastes like York peppermint patty. All your Snickers, all your everything now taste. You have to separate it. If you don't go home and instantly separate your candy and take out all the Twizzlers, which didn't make the list, thank God, and all the York peppermint patties, then your chocolate is spoiled. Like if you just let it sit in that bag overnight.
Really, if it even gets inside the bag, all your candy's gonna.
It'll start It'll start leaking.
Yeah, it's gonna start leaking its minty awfulness.
Y'all aren't even thinking about this right. Once the cough drops are in there, they remove the problem of the York peppermint patties. I'm just saying. Like, that's not even a problem anymore.
Well, you've said that you've unwrapped it and just stuck it in the child's mouth. So,
well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I'm just saying.
So I'm sorry, Llama, but I like York peppermint patties, but if it is mixed in with anything else, it's over. And how this is your number one blows my mind. If it was a whole bag of York peppermint patties, okay. But still not number one, but okay. But the fact that you would put this and mix this in with such things as candy core and the entire Reese's family, get out. Your list I've debunked your list. It is bunk, and this is out. So
Llama,
hopefully, please.
Llama, we love you. Llama, we love you.
We do love you.
We
Llama.
love you. And I'm okay with knowing someone who likes chocolate and likes to have good breath. So don't listen to Dymlos at all. I'm glad
I do appreciate the breath. That's a good point.
Of your hygiene. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Please, dear Screech, please redeem us. Please let this top 5 list be good. Okay, let's look at number 5. Gummy candy? What?
I feel like this is also a category and not a specific candy.
Yeah, what gummy candy?
That leaves the door open for that trolley garbage to come in.
Get out.
You don't want that on
Get
your list.
out. No. But this is also like just regular gummy worms, like all the gummies, like every single gummy. Why do we even make top 5 lists when we're just going to put entire schlews of candy that cover multiple candies on it? This is
my number 4 is peanut chocolate bars.
Or just chocolate.
I do love
just
Mr.
chocolate.
Good Bar though. That is a good candy bar. But yeah, so Screech, you've already ruined the top 5 list. I hoped for it to be redeemed, but we're not. So gummy candy, Starburst. The problem with Starburst is the lemon and the orange, right? Like those, if it was Fave Reds or all pinks, then we're good.
No. Dymlos.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
You have to cut those. If you're not eating Starburst in 2s with 2 different flavors, like marrying each other in your mouth, then you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right.
The yellows have to be thrown out. As soon as I open that 2-pack and there's a yellow in there, it gets tossed in the garbo.
Yellow goes with red. Yellow goes with red.
Orange, okay. But if it's, I just buy the all pinks. That's the best. Red, okay. I can do Fave Reds as well, but just give me the all pinks. That's where it's at. So Starburst, bad. Just because it has Lennon. Snickers Fun Size, good. Reese's Minis, good. Mini Kit Kat. Oh, Draq, your number 3's been redeemed by Screech.
No. This isn't mini Kit Kats. This is mint Kit Kats.
Oh, shit. I read it wrong. I thought it said mini.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, my gosh.
Who can't read now?
We already established Draq can't read.
Comes full circle. We've come full circle 2 hours later.
Read. We need one of you to read. I'm just saying.
All right. Mint Kit Kat. I'm okay with mint Kit Kat. We just said I'm fine with mint. I'm fine with mint Kit Kat.
I have never had a mint Kit Kat. I didn't even know it existed.
Yeah, well, I knew it existed, and I have luckily spared myself from buying one and wasting my money.
I think I'm gonna have to hunt one down this Halloween and try it.
Let's go get them. I don't think that they're done for Halloween. Find out where
Screech lives. He's giving them away.
Yeah, full-sized mint Kit Kats, because there's certainly not like a fun-sized Kit Kat.
Screech, just post your address in the comments section down below, and we will all try a mint Kit Kat.
Before you leave, we've one final word. Before you've forgotten all that you've heard, there is a moment evergreen. Stay here a while and listen to me.
All right. I know that Dymlos has been trying to kick you off the show since you...
Can we go play Pokemon Pocket already? I've got so many packs to open right now.
But I enjoyed having you, Benonai. Thank you so much for coming and being with us.
Why, thank you so much, Only Draq. I really appreciate being on the show.
Get out.
And I will say that purposefully, I have not made you talk about lore this entire episode because I just wanted to lie to Theric.